Alright, the first major step in making this batch of knives. These parts are right out of the water jet. All I've done so far is drill and well, ream those holes and countersink them, break the edges. I go from there over onto this fixture that I made, which is where most of my machining will happen on this knife. This part's already done, but what I'm doing, the first operation, is cutting this pocket for inlays. And unfortunately I made all the inlays yesterday and didn't think about taking any pictures or video or of that procedure. But what I'll do right now is actually run this part in double speed and without coolant so we can watch what's going on. Right now it's going to switch to this first tool and run around the perimeter and get rid of the bulk of the material that needs to be removed. It's not really cutting much right now because I've already cut these parts. But I want to get rid of the bulk of the material that's left from the water jet machine. So I do a perimeter cut. I'm going to come by and rough in the chamfer in a second. And I do that so that it doesn't push any burr into my inlay once my inlay is actually set in there. So it's going to change over to my chamfering tool. Run around the edge. Cutting the chamfer on there. Everything's running double speed right now. If I had been smart when I programmed it, I would have done that first. But I didn't. So it's going back to the tool that was in there originally. And now it's going to rough in this pocket. And I'll get it fired up to double speed as well. So it does this pocket in two main steps. It's 50 thousandths deep right now, getting rid of the bulk of the material that's in there. And it'll come by and duplicate this procedure at 60 thousandths, which is the thickness of my inlay. So what we'll end up with here is integral front and rear bolsters when we're all done. So all it's doing right now is just hogging out the bulk of that material. It's ramping its way down in right now, down to a full 60 thousandths depth. It's at 60. It'll do that first step again. And when it's all done with this, it's going to switch to another tool of the same diameter, but one that I've kept fresh and just clean up the actual edges. So it'll give me nice, crisp, clean lines for the scale that's going to go on there and make sure everything fits just right. This will be its last little pass. Now it'll do a tool change. And get it up to double speed. So now all it's doing is cleaning up that edge. It'll do that twice. Just to be sure. I want these things to fit perfect. So there's that one. That'll come to the back side. And that's it. Now the scale that's going to go in there, got one around here. I got one here in lightning strike. I cut those yesterday. So that scale going to go on there. Fit in there like a glove. And I'm going to glue it with some structural adhesive, some Loctite high-tech structural adhesive, and then screw it from the inside. But that's what it is. And when it's all done, I have made one, glued it and tried it to make sure everything was good first, and that's what we'll end up with when it's all done. Anyhow, that's it.